Greeley Water customers can win some extra cash just by taking a few minutes to complete an online questionnaire about their water service line. So with me today is Michaela Jackson. She is Greeley's Water Quality and Regulatory Compliance Manager. So before we get into how customers have an opportunity to win a gift card, can you provide some updates on what's happening with Greeley's lead protection program?
Yeah, sure. So for a little bit of background, back in the 1990s, Greeley Water started removing any known lead service lines from the city side of the meter. So essentially from the water main in the street to the meter pit in the yard. However, older homes may still have lead-containing service lines on the private side of the meter, so from the meter pit into the first fitting of the home. We have started some investigations on the private side, starting really on the east side of town where we know some of the older homes are. We're doing potholing, we're doing the survey, and so far we have found about 40 private side lead-containing service lines. We're currently working, starting this month, on removing those, and the nice benefit of this is that as part of this program, we are offering free replacements to those customers where we identify a lead service line on the private side.
Okay, so you said potholing. You're not talking about the potholes in the streets, right? You know that we all have to avoid and swerve. What are you talking about when you say potholing in somebody's yard?
Right. So a pothole is essentially a small basketball-sized hole that's dug with a vacuum truck. Digging is probably not the best way to say it, but essentially what they're doing is they're exposing the service line underground, and that way we can identify the material.
So you can look down in the hole, see what it is, and then the contractor fills up the hole and leaves it as close to what it was as before? Correct. Okay. All right, so as part of the project, the city is offering customers a chance to win a $100 gift card. So that sounds like easy money for just a few minutes to fill out an online questionnaire. So can you talk a little bit more about why we're doing this promotion to get people to fill out a questionnaire? How does it benefit the city?
Yeah, absolutely. So the questionnaire essentially will give us the material on the private side. So we may not have to dig a pothole in someone's yard. Each pothole at each property can cost us $500 to $700. So it really does save the city a lot of money where we can get that point of verification in the home. Just to clarify, the survey does involve the customer locating the service line, following guidance that's given in the survey, and taking a picture and then submitting it to us. We review the picture. We're able most often to determine the material from that, and that saves the city a lot of money across the board because we really do need all this information from pretty much all homes built prior to 1981.
And if somebody isn't technological savvy and then they need some help, what can they do? Can they contact you? Will you kind of walk them through the process? Talk about that. Is there, I know that there's a phone number we'll display on the screen along with an email address for people to contact. But how much of that customer service do you and your team really reach out to customers to make sure that they're filling these questionnaires out?
Yeah, so we have done a lot of outreach to folks about getting the questionnaire done, and for anyone who has trouble locating the service line, who may not have the ability to, who may have difficulty uploading a picture, they can certainly reach out to the water quality team. We also are offering free lead testing for anyone who's concerned about lead in their water. So we are providing quite a bit of customer service around this program, and feel free to reach out to our email, give us a phone call. We'll help with the questionnaire.
Okay, and just a reminder, to go to the questionnaire, we've provided a direct URL. It's greeleygov.com/lead survey. So type in that, it'll take you right to the survey, and you can get it filled out. You mentioned that the city is working to remove all known lead service lines. So what does it mean if a customer happens to have a lead service line? How much does it cost them to get rid of that?
So as part of this program, we are offering free replacements to customers. So any service line that we determine contains lead, we are going to replace that free of charge to the customer. However, if replacement does become mandatory in the future and we are no longer partaking in this project, it could cost the customer up to $10,000 to replace their side of the service line, which is why we are really trying to prevent the burden of that cost on the customer by doing it ourselves as a part of this project. I do also want to note that just because you have a service line that contains lead does not necessarily mean that there is lead in your water. Our treatment plants employ corrosion control treatment, which essentially prevents any of the pipe material from leaching into the water. And we are also providing customers with water pitcher filters if we do identify their service line contains lead, and that will really help reduce any possible risk of exposure until we are able to replace that line.
Okay, perfect. So if you've completed the survey, thank you. We appreciate that. And if you haven't, why not? Go to greeleygov.com/lead survey, and you could become one of our lucky winners.